2025 is almost coming to an end, and you know what that means? It's time to lock in. We're in October, so that means we have 3 months to do whatever we said we were going to do. And the first and foremost thing you need is discipline. And before you start running away, let me change your perspective on discipline. Let me just address the elephant in the room. Discipline isn't punishment, it's protection. For so long, we've been taught that discipline means restriction, that you're being too hard on yourself, and that you're not allowing yourself to enjoy the little pleasures of life. So basically, when you wake up early, when you say no, when you put yourself first as a form of self love or as a form of discipline, you're being too harsh on yourself. But that's the thing, discipline was never about denying yourself joy, it was more about protecting your peace. You're not being harsh on yourself when you have a morning routine. You're actually protecting your energy from chaos. You're not forcing control, you're choosing clarity. Discipline is actually the bridge between who you are right now and who you actually want to become. Some of us grew up listening to this a lot, where people around you, your parents, your friends, your siblings might have said this to you, where you're like, oh, you're lazy, you could have done better. Oh, you know what, you're never on time. So basically what happened is your mind associated discipline with guilt, because that's what you were supposed to do to impress other people. You never associated that with self-love. What happened was you started associating discipline with guilt. Now what that does is you start thinking, I am not enough. But the whole point of being disciplined was, it's never about I am not enough, it's about I deserve better. I can do better, I deserve better, I deserve everything that I want in this life. And how you're going to achieve that is through discipline. I think it's high time to unlearn the idea that you have to hate yourself into being productive. It's actually a part of self love. It's a part of your self esteem. It's a part of your self confidence. When you treat it like that, the whole narrative changes in your brain. I think this needs to click for you, that self discipline, that being disciplined and having a routine for yourself, that is waking up on time. That time you decide, not everybody's a morning person, I don't want to impose that, but waking up early just so you have enough time for yourself before you even start the day, before you're off to work, before you're doing what you need to do. Having a morning routine, journaling, taking care of yourself, taking long baths, actually having time for some self love, whether that be making your own delicious meals, whether that be eating really clean, working out, doing Pilates, yoga, taking a walk in the sun, just really actually nourishing yourself. You know what that signals to your brain? You love yourself. You love the person that you're becoming. Doesn't matter who you were, but you love the version of yourself that you're becoming, and you actually respect yourself. When your brain sees you doing all of these activities for yourself, it starts taking notes, and these notes add on to your self-esteem and self-confidence. So basically you're only helping yourself by being disciplined. This is not about anybody else, this is not about anything else, it's all about you. Now again, motivation is emotional and discipline is relational. For example, yeah, you wake up some days feeling like, oh, I got this, I got the day, I have the energy to seize the day. And some days you wake up feeling like a slump. Now, if you would completely rely on motivation and how motivation makes you feel to get anything in life done, you're never going to be able to achieve a goal. I said what I said, and I will say it again. You're never going to be able to achieve a goal if you completely rely on motivation. Motivation comes and goes like this. It'll come once in a blue moon, and it'll go like that, and you won't even be able to achieve anything that you said you were going to do this month. However, discipline is, I don't care how I feel, I don't care about how I feel, I need to get this done. I promised myself, I respect myself enough to keep that promise to myself. I am going to get this done. That's what discipline tells your brain, and your brain starts registering it. That means you start to take yourself a lot more seriously. That means you start to take your life goals, your ambitions a lot more seriously. And that again means you will give it your all into everything that you do. That's what is going to accumulate the outcome that you need. And every single time you follow through on what you said you were going to do, it builds self trust. Your subconscious mind is constantly picking up on such things, and that is what gives you confidence. The only reason discipline feels boring is because peace feels foreign. We live in a society, we live in a generation where our bodies are used to burning the fuck out. where our bodies are constantly chasing highs, emotional highs, dopamine hits. We're constantly running on caffeine and some sort of energy that, okay, we need to get shit done or else this is not going to happen. We're constantly chasing something. We're constantly running after something. We're constantly chasing highs. We're giving ourselves a feeling of emotional roller coasters every single time we're about to do something that we said we were going to do. So now, when you are so used to functioning here in this amount of chaos, peace will feel boring. Where you're like, this is not normal. This is not how it's supposed to feel. But actually, this is how you're supposed to feel. Your nervous system is regulated. Your mind is calm. You have less thoughts, which is a good thing. You can actually focus on one thing at a time. You can actually take one task, finish it, and then move on to the next instead of causing yourself ADHD where you're just not being able to focus on anything. I think this is why so many people sabotage progress, is because peace feels wrong. When you're used to living a chaotic life, peace can feel like not so chaotic at all. Actually, it's the complete opposite of that. And you're not used to feeling that. And you don't know what to do. And it's okay to be bored. It's okay to not do anything. But just the process of having to unlearn that is what will actually help you stay disciplined and not sabotage. The real source of discipline is when you actually learn to be okay with the quiet, the calm, the peace, the nothing is happening phase, the routine, the mundane daily chores of life without chasing emotional highs and lows. That's when you'll realize you're actually emotionally mature and you're actually disciplined enough to be able to sustain the life that you're looking forward to. Rest is a part of discipline too. Yes, I know what you're thinking right now, where you're like, I think the whole thing is when you associate rest with something that you need to achieve, or you need to be able to win rest. You need to be able to deserve the rest that you're taking right now. No, rest is a part of you being human, first of all. Stop it. Don't be weird. Rest is a part of you being human. You need rest to be able to function as human beings. It is nothing that you need to deserve, nothing that you need to win. It's nothing of that sort. The fact that we're so in this hustle culture, in our work routines, in our daily life, that we feel like we haven't been productive enough. We haven't done enough throughout the day. I don't deserve rest because, whatever, for XYZ reasons. I said I was going to do this, but I did not achieve it. So, you know what? I'm very in that headspace right now and I don't deserve the rest that I'm taking. Guilt resting is equivalent to not resting, first of all. And second of all, cut that out of your system. Just get it out of your system. You're a human being. That's the amount of energy level you had today. You did the best out of the energy level that you had today, which is good. You deserve rest just by existing, just by being a human being. The fact that you're human, the fact that you were born, you deserve rest. It's just not something that you need to win or something that you need to work for or look forward to. Despite what anyone else has to say, that's the ultimate truth, and you remember that. Being disciplined does not silence your emotions, it actually creates room for them. When your life has structure or routine, your emotions finally have room to exist and breathe. You're not exactly ignoring what you're feeling or running away from that. What you're giving yourself is time to process your feelings, time, space to process your feelings without letting your emotions run your life. For example, having a morning routine, journaling daily, having a workout routine. What you're doing is you're actually emotionally regulating yourself by sticking to that routine. This is how you stop reacting and you start responding. Discipline is what turns dreams into data. Dreaming is beautiful, okay? I think everyone has dreams, everyone has goals, everyone has an ambition, everyone wants to achieve something in life, which is great. I'm all up for it. However, the only thing that will sustain you through that is discipline. You know what discipline does? Even when you follow through a little bit on what you said you were going to do, it builds self-trust. And on top of that, it builds evidence in your brain that this is achievable. So it normalizes your goal for you. And second thing it does is also it builds evidence for your potential. So basically, now you have proof that you have that amount of potential to achieve that goal. That means you're going to achieve that goal very quickly in life. It's not even going to take that much effort because you're fully in alignment with that goal. just by doing these small things, stack and compound to your confidence. Now you're going to build such rock solid confidence that's going to sustain you through lifetimes. I'm not even joking, because you'll see yourself as a worthy, deserving, resilient, consistent, very stable. You have that level of understanding, that emotional maturity to be able to sustain yourself to achieving that goal that you said you were going to achieve. That means your amount of self trust is on another level. And finally, you cannot build a peaceful life by self loathing. The first and foremost thing is when you see discipline as a part of your self respect, a part of your self love journey, a part of who you want yourself to be, and you're working towards it, a part of your self confidence, a part of your self trust. You know what? You feel very inspired to do the things that you said you were going to do, and you're naturally disciplined innately. But similarly, when you think of discipline because you know what, I fear that I'm not good enough, or I fear I might fail, or you know what, I need to push myself harder to be able to achieve that. If it comes from a place of lack, it's always going to drain you. It's always going to feel like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. This is too much for me. But if it comes from a place of like, I respect myself, I love myself, why wouldn't I give that to myself? For that, you need to actually have a good relationship with yourself. You need to have the routines. You need to build that self trust. You need to have that. When your brain sees you taking action towards the goals that you said you were going to take, it trusts you. It trusts you. It doesn't take long. It takes 21 days. That's about it. That's about it. And once it's there for a lifetime. Now you're like, you know what? I know myself inside and out. I know what I'm capable of. I know what my potential is. I know what I can achieve in this lifetime. And if I have a goal, it's already done because I have the discipline to make it possible. That's how you'll actually sustain with discipline, and you'll actually fall in love with it. And that's the whole point of it. Falling in love with yourself is the whole point of it, and discipline makes it happen. Having said that, we come to the end of this brilliant video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till then, I'm going to see you guys in my next one. Take care and bye.